How's it going, family? Welcome back to the channel. So, everybody's talking about cryptocurrency. Last year, we experienced an epic bull run of epic proportions, and folks were hopping into crypto left to right. People were saying, you can invest $1 and make $1 billion. You can invest $100 and make $1 million. All of these different nonsense things, but actually, in some cases, came true. But for the most part, everybody and their moms and their fathers and their cats and their dogs and their pets were getting involved with cryptocurrency because it was a fad. But you know what? It's time for us to talk about whether or not cryptocurrency is the future. I'm of the opinion that I think I can make the case as to why I believe cryptocurrency may very well be the future, superior to that of cryptocurrency, or not superior to cryptocurrency, but superior to fiat currency, which is your traditional dollar and your banking system. So, in this conversations, I wanted to talk about 3 things that's going to make that case for you. So just stick with me. And I promise you, you would probably share the same opinion at the end of this video. So number 1, cryptocurrency, as I mentioned before, you can invest a small amount and turn a small amount into a large amount. It may not be as drastic as 1,000 into $1 billion, but need I not say that you could potentially invest 1,000 and turn it into $1 million. That's quite possible, depending on how early you are able to get into a good project that has solid core values and solid utilities, aka use cases that actually come to fruition. Number 2, as I said, cryptocurrency is far superior than the banking system, and we're going to share some details why. And number 3, cryptocurrency is being mass adopted across the globe. Let's go ahead and take a look at an article here. If we look over here at a website where I came across an article, the website, because I want to give credit, is called analyticsinsight.net. Analyticsinsight.net. And when we go over here and we look at this website, in my opinion, my humble opinion, does a good job with actually telling you or giving you some examples as to why the cryptocurrency is the future and why it's far superior than our traditional banking system. So if we take a look at some of the points that were pointed out here, we'll see. Hey, let's take a look at it. Varied values of cryptocurrency. Number 1. Payments. It can be used to make transactions. We know that. It can be used to buy goods and services. We know that. Number 2, it serves as a stored value. Since the total supply of cryptocurrencies is limited, the shortage influences their value. Now, here's an example. So let's look at this. Cryptocurrency, for the most part, has a defined set of supply. The defined set of number of tokens that are in circulation to be transacted from. Now, fiat currency has unlimited supply. What do I mean by unlimited supply? Essentially, here's an example. We're living it today with rapid inflation. Yes, inflation has gone down, but we're still in rapid inflation, hyperinflation. It's gone up dramatically. We've seen inflation at one point this year at a 40-year high. Why is that? And I'm not trying to be political. I'm just sticking to the facts. With fiat currency, the federal government printed money. When you have more of something, it becomes less rare. Less rare equals less valuable. Now, with cryptocurrency, every time a transaction is made, there's a finite amount or a set amount of circulating supply. So, when people transact that currency, the supply dwindles. When the supply goes down, it becomes more and more valuable. Case in point, it's simple, pure economics. The less of something you have, the more valuable it is. The more of something you have, the less valuable it is. Let's continue, guys. So if we go back to this article, we can see another thing about cryptocurrency that makes it stand out is that it can serve as a stable coin. It can be pegged to commodities such as gold, oil, or other currencies such as the US dollar. Privacy. The technology that cryptocurrency is built upon is secure by its very nature, and it allows individuals to remain anonymous during transactions. Now, let's get into this. Let's explain what I mean by that. Now, if you know anything about the blockchain, we can use Ethereum, for instance, and Etherscan. Etherscan is an open ledger on the blockchain. You can go to Etherscan and you are able to see all transactions that occur from the beginning of time, forever. You see what are called wallet addresses. With those wallet addresses, you are able to just see the transactions that were made. Henceforth, transaction, let's say, swapping from Ethereum to another token using Uniswap. I'm just using that for example. You're able to see those transactions. You can see the timestamp that it was made, how much in fees, aka gas fees, which also means transaction fees on the Ethereum network, right? For some person to process the transaction, right? To mine the transaction. You're able to see that, but you do not see the person's identity. You do not know who the person is. The only thing you see is the transaction record. That is what's meant by privacy when it comes to cryptocurrency. Let's continue on. So if we look at this, it says digital access and ownership. Even people who have no access to traditional banks can enter the financial system with the help of cryptocurrency. There are some countries in this world that are third world developed, meaning, yes, they may not have a developed financial institution or banking sector like we have in the United States. You can go down the street and find a Wells Fargo. You can go down the street and find a Truist. You can go down the street and find a Bank of America. You can go down the street and find a Chase. But you know what? In some places in Africa, in the middle of Africa, you can't find anything but sand. It's called the Sahara Desert. But with cryptocurrency, you can be anywhere as long as you have an internet connection. Your phone, your mobile devices. Most people have access to the internet if they have a phone, if they have an internet connection on their computer, if they have a tablet. Guess what? If they have a Tesla. Yes, a Tesla. So with that being said, it breaks down the barriers of entry to people being able to transact in the economy using currency. So with cryptocurrency, it allows access to people who would not have otherwise had that access. Let's keep going, guys. Cryptocurrency can be considered digital gold. Cryptocurrencies and gold share attributes comparable to money. Both can be used as a medium of exchange and has a stored value. One other thing I wanted to get into was around the fact that with cryptocurrency, you really don't have to identify yourself unless you're transacting on centralized exchanges. But for the sake of our argument in our conversation here, we're talking about in the DeFi space, the decentralized finance space. Right? When it comes to traditional banking and traditional fiat currency, when you transact, you have a banking account. When you open up the banking account, you have to disclose your identity, i.e. PII. What does PII mean? Protected identifiable information, or in other phrases or other things people may say, it's personal identifiable information. What does that mean? It's exactly what it sounds like. Personal information. Number one, driver's license. Guess why? It has your address. It has your age, your date of birth. It has your race. It has your full name. Birth certificate. I don't even have to explain why that's the case. Social security numbers. That identifies you. That's your basic identification to the federal government outside of your birth certificate for the state. Now, when you open up bank accounts, most of the time, they have to do what's called KYC. Know your customer. They have to know that stuff, rightfully so, because they are federally regulated. They have to make sure they know and keep you under surveillance to know how you are getting this money, what you are taking out of your bank, and what are you putting in your bank. Did you know that you cannot walk into your local financial institution and say, hey, I have $1 billion in my account and I want to deduct or withdraw, in this case for the conversation, I want to go in here and withdraw $10 million out of my bank account. You're going to be looked at side-eyed. You may very well get the side-eye roll. And I can bet your dollar you're going to be interviewed as to why you need to withdraw that kind of money, even though it's your account, it's your bank account, and it's your money. But you know what? That's what's going to happen. I'm not knocking financial institutions. I'm just stating the facts. On the contrary, cryptocurrency, totally different. Now, there is some regulation coming down the pike, right? And there is some already in place for cryptocurrency centralized trading platforms such as Coinbase and crypto.com and things of that nature. I'm not picking on them. I'm just stating the facts. But we're sticking to DeFi here. DeFi. And DeFi, it's not needed. That's why people like DeFi. So let's talk about the next thing. The next reason why I believe cryptocurrency is not just a passing fad, but cryptocurrency is the future. Did you know that cryptocurrency is being mass adopted across the globe? Let's take a look at some example, guys. Let's look at this. This was just announced August the 12th. That's this month. That's not too far ago. FN Mecca, the world's biggest augmented reality rapper, signs to Capitol Records. This is a major record label, guys. A major record label is getting involved in the cryptocurrency blockchain space. This is mass adoption. This is what you want to see if you want to see crypto continue to climb in the total global the global market cap. Right now, we're sitting at around a $1 trillion market cap as I last checked this morning. The market's down. Yes, it's down. It has peaks and troughs. We talked about that in our other videos. You should subscribe so that you won't miss that content because we do content like this all the time. We get down to the nitty gritty. We get to business and we educate you on this channel, and we don't just spew the news. We tell you why we say what we say, and we make good real world applications to these concepts to teach you so that you can survive in these crypto streets. That's what we believe in. Now, back to this article. Back to the article, guys. Back to this article. If we continue to go down and learn more about it, this is the guy right here. This is his emoji or his avatar. As you can see, it's pretty cool. It looks like an NFT. That's pretty much what it is, but you get the point. I'm not going to read this whole article. You can check it out yourself, capitalrecords.com, and you can just do a search for FN Mecca, and you can read this at your leisure. But the one thing I wanted to point out is this. We will read this little clip here. FN Mecca has signed to Capitol Records, becoming the world's first augmented reality artist to sign with a major label. Artist, influencer, and Web3 resident all in one. So essentially, this Web3 is essentially the metaverse. FN Mecca blurs the line between humans and computers. With his over-the-top flexing and extravagances of style, he has rapidly amassed billions of impressions across the internet since the independent release of his singles Moonwalkin', Speed Demon, and Internet, with over 1 billion with a B views and 10 millions with an M followers on TikTok alone. He is the #1 virtual being, meaning virtual human, in the metaverse on the platform. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned to you before, crypto is being mass adopted. Let's look at another example. We're going to dive into the restaurant industry. And if we look at this, this is an article that was put out in June of this year from Forbes. And it's entitled The Metaverse and Digital Transformation at McDonald's. Yes, McDonald's. You know the restaurant with the golden arch? That one, McDonald's. And let's scroll down because I'm not going to read this article. You can check this out yourself. Go to Forbes.com, type in the metaverse and digital transformation at McDonald's, and you can read it at your bedtime if you're finding yourself having a hard time falling asleep. However, let's scroll down and let's take a look at the points that I wanted to point out for you. It's this section here where it talks about McDonald's in the metaverse. It says, metaverse is a term used to describe next level virtual platforms where users will interact with each other and with brands like none other than McDonald's. In an immersive, persistent environment, many global brands are seeing it as the next big thing in both marketing and customer experience, and McDonald's is no exception. Now, let's talk about what McDonald's looks to do with the metaverse. The chain has filed a patent application indicating that it is in the process of developing virtual restaurants. As we are spending more and more of our time online, McDonald's is betting that just as teenagers like to meet and hang out in burger restaurants today, tomorrow they will log into virtual reality equivalents where they can talk to friends in entertaining environments as well as order food and drink deliveries to their homes. It also plans to sell virtual goods. This might take the form of branded clothing and other items that can be used to decorate avatars of customers' virtual homes in the metaverse. Guys, cryptocurrency is not a joke. It is the future. It is here to stay. Now let's look at one last example, and then we're going to tie all this stuff together and bring this conversation to a close. Let's look at it. If we go over here and we take a look at this, it is from BitPay. BitPay, if you don't know, is a website that allows individuals to use cryptocurrency to purchase travel. Yes, travel. That means airline tickets. That means reserving your Airbnb, guys. It also means if you feel lucky, get your Amtrak tickets. It also means if you want to rent a car, you can do that. Or if you want to buy jewelry, watches, buy gaming, other things like electronics, you want to donate because you're feeling generous and you want to, donate for your cause and nonprofits. You can. Restaurants, food and beverages, auto, boats, online, all other online stores. You can do all of that with cryptocurrency, with BitPay. Look, they accept Bitcoin, Ethereum out of that and other cryptocurrencies too. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Just because it doesn't show an altcoin here does not mean you cannot use it. Let me make the case. First of all, remember we talked about swaps? That's where swaps come in. So let's say you own Ethereum, and let's say you own Saitama Shiba Doge, and you want to use BitPay. Let's say those cryptos were not listed as being accepted as the accepted form of crypto. Just these specific cryptos are being accepted. Bitcoin, Ethereum, let's just say that's the case. Just stick with me here. I'm making a point. Stick with me. Let me not lose you. You can swap your Saitama. You can swap your SHIB. You can swap your DogeCoin. You could swap Hot Dog Inu for Ethereum if it's an Ethereum-based token, even if it's not. But let's just say if it is. You can swap it for Ethereum, and guess what? Now you got Ethereum, and guess what you can do with that Ethereum? Now you can use that Ethereum to go here to BitPay and buy what you just saw. Tickets, airline tickets, car rentals, food, groceries, online shopping, all of those things. Now you tell me if this doesn't spell mass adoption for cryptocurrency. To me, it sounds like it does. Now, I wanted to bring all of this home, and I wanted to show you guys why I feel that cryptocurrency is the future. Cryptocurrency is a means of transaction and is bound to replace traditional way of conducting business using fiat currency. We are all still early. Yes, I know cryptocurrency was invented with Bitcoin way back in the early 2010s, in that era, 2008, 9-ish area. I understand. But we are still early, and I made the case why we are still early in my prior video. You should take a look at that because, like I said, we spit fire in our content. But we are still early because, like I said, you can walk down the road, quiz your neighbor, quiz your dog. If you're feeling lucky, talk to your cat, talk to Miss Purr that's sitting on the couch over there because she has nothing to do but play with fur balls all day. But just, quiz your cat, quiz your goldfish if you want to. But just, all intents and purposes, let me stop joking, but you quiz anybody. Ask them, do they know about crypto? They'll say, yeah. They say, well, I know Shiba Inu, I know DogeCoin, I know Bitcoin. Most people know Bitcoin. But can they explain to you how it works? And the answer would more than likely be no. That's how you know you're still early in this crypto space. So don't give up, guys. Keep the faith in what you're doing with investing in crypto. Crypto is not a scam, despite what people say. Here's an example. A lot of people said that internet was a scam, or email was like, what in the world is email when it came out? Internet was first used by our federal government. It's been around before the civilians, which are you and I, were able to use it. But when we used it, do you remember AOL? You've got mail. We didn't understand any of that stuff. We used to send mail through the U.S. Postal Service. We used to send letters that way. Takes days to get there. But then with the advent of the internet and email, that all changed. It took a while to go mainstream. But you know what? Now that we have the internet, and now the word of mouth spreads even faster because we have social media. Hey, you're looking at my YouTube video. We have social media. Look how fast the word is spreading. Cryptocurrency is no different and will continue to be no different. The only difference is today in 2022, cryptocurrency is experiencing mass adoption greater than anything you've ever seen. And you know what? You may see your next company, you may see your healthcare company accepting cryptocurrency as a form of payment within the next couple of years. Maybe less than 5 years. You never know. I don't have a crystal ball, and I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you what I think and what I feel that's coming down the road here. So, I believe cryptocurrency is not a fad. I believe cryptocurrency is far superior than any banking system that we've seen in our lifetimes in the past. Cryptocurrency will continue to be the trailblazer going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, I made the case. I'm going to leave you with that. Go ahead and feel free to leave your comment down below so you can contribute to this conversation. I'm interested to see what you feel and what you think. Do you think cryptocurrency is the future, or do you think it's dead? Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Crypto Stream. Remember to continue to invest with a purpose so that you can create financial wealth for you and your family. We'll talk to you guys real soon.